Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cheyenne and I bring you tutorials every single week so that you can do at home or in studio on and off the pole. Today I'm going to take you through a beginner pole combo. Now I have taught some of these moves in previous tutorials, so make sure you watch those. But for this tutorial, we are going to be going into our inside leg turn, then into our outside leg turn. From there, we're then going to go into a knee turn, and then we're going to go into our sit. So let me break down each of these moves separately, then we'll learn to put them together. Again, I've done tutorials on these before, but it's nice to have a refresher. So we're going to start off with the inside leg turn. So for your inside leg turn, we have two options to start depending on where your strength is at and what feels comfortable for you, but I'll teach you both. The first one, you're going to start with the inside leg on the pole. So you'll be starting in this position. Now, when you do your inside leg turn, a couple things to be mindful of. The first thing is you want to make sure that you're opening up the hips, pushing forward. You don't want to bring the knee and turn the hips towards the pole. So imagine you're trying to get your hips to the side of the pole. Now with your leg, so the outside leg, no matter what side you're doing, inside or outside. I am doing my right side, so my right leg's on the pole. If you are doing the opposite, now focusing on the left leg, I will get there. What you want to make sure of is that you're not tracking the leg forward. You want this to come up and back. So really engage your glutes to go through that lift extension. If you track forward, then what ends up happening is you get this position, okay? Now what we want to do is bring the leg back and lift. So if you're starting with your leg on the pole, come up onto your toes. Your inside arm is going to reach up nice and high. Again, you want to make sure when your arm is in this upright position that you're not overwrapping the wrist with a bent forearm, because it's going to overuse your bicep and forearm. They'll fatigue out quicker. We want to use the shoulder and lat and keep it nice and engaged. When you're holding onto the pole, make sure before you start any pole move, you pull the pole down into the ground. You don't want to decompress the lat completely, but you want to create tension so that the lat and shoulder is engaged. From here, your bottom arm is going to come 90-degree angle or a little bit lower, depending on your body type and arm length. Both will work, and that is fine. You just want to make sure that there's no flex in that bottom wrist. Keep it nice and neutral. Now, I'm starting with the leg on the pole for this one. I will bring the leg from behind into the front. Make sure that your foot is bending with the line of your leg and not down to the ground. You may feel like you're pointing, but you're pointing it with the pole, so point it with your leg. Now from here, pull the pole down into the ground, push with the bottom hand, and lift that back leg up as you turn. So that is with your leg starting on the pole. If you are starting with your leg off the pole and you're going to come down to the ground, what we're going to do is you'll take a little step next to the pole. The left leg, so outside leg, regardless of what side you're doing, so outside leg is going to swing around this way. Now what will happen from here, as I continue to turn, I'm going to rotate my knee, and when I feel the pole on that inner thigh, I lift it and I wrap it around. So I'll give you a few angles of this. I take a step, my left leg goes out. When I feel it on the inner thigh, I lift and I wrap, pushing with that bottom arm and leg behind. Again, different angle. I take a step, I lift, turn, wrap. Okay, so you do have your options there depending on what feels right for you. Now from there, we're going to add on the outside leg turn. So for your outside leg turn, what I'm going to do, the arms are in the exact same position. And what I'm going to do is the outside leg will swing around, and I'm going to place it behind my ankle, but turn the knee out into this position. So I don't want it up. I want it completely off the pole in a turned out position. My inside leg is going to come back and lift, just like we did with the inside leg turn on the opposite side. So I place it on, pull the pole down, push, and I'm going to lift. Now, when you're spinning, big push to that bottom arm, take a step. I'll just start from this side. Step, ankle on, turn out, push off, and hold. So that there is going to be your outside leg turn. Again, knee out, leg lift. What we're going to do from there is go into our knee spin. So to go into your knee spin, your outside leg is already on the pole, but we need to transition that. So we are going to, from this side position that we've stayed in for the inside leg turn and the outside leg turn, you're going to turn and face your pole. We also need to get the ankle off the pole. So as I turn, I will turn, place the knee on the pole, really push with the bottom arm so that your knees and legs don't track forward and you go into that thigh. So from the outside leg position, here, we turn to here. Now for your knee spin, this knee spin for this particular combo, you need to bring the legs up together. I have a tutorial on this on how to do your knee spin with the legs starting on the pole or bringing both up together. And again, I'll put that in the description down below. So I will place the leg on the pole. From here, I will push off. I am then going to turn, face my pole and bring both knees into the pole in that knee tuck position. Just a reminder for your knee spin, really push with the bottom hand to create distance, and knee needs to be, pole on the knee needs to be just at the front. You also want to make sure you're squeezing your thighs together nice and tight. From there, we are then going to go into our sit. So for our sit, we need to change the bottom arm. Right now we're pushing, but we want to really focus on that top arm and bring our body into the pole so that we can extend our legs and catch into sit. So if I am in my knee spin into here. So all I've done, extended the legs, cross over to catch into sit. Remember, right hand high, right leg on top. The bottom arm I use as a lever to pull me into the pole, okay? Especially whilst you're spinning because gravity is kind of pushing you out a bit. So if I just do my knee spin into my sit, I'm going to push off, squeeze my knees. Now extend both legs, catch into my sit. From there, I'm going to bring my arm down, so I change up my sit a little bit. I'm gonna come into my elbow. Personal preference if you just wanna stay in your sit, but if you wanna go into the elbow like I'm going to do, all I'm going to do, that top arm is going to come down and I'm going to bend so that the pole comes into my elbow. Now, when you do anything with your elbow on the pole, always remember to look at your imaginary watch. So bring the wrist facing towards you. The reason for that is when you're in a bent position in here, you bring up bone and cartilage and that will press into the pole and cause pain, and it's quite uncomfortable. When you rotate the wrist in, that bone and cartilage then push backwards so that you don't press into it, yeah? So from the sit, so knee spin, sit, and then into that elbow position if you're wanting to add that on. So knee spin, extend, pull in with the bottom arm into sit. I'm going to slide the top hand down, come into my elbow, and off. So let's put all of those together. Starting with the inside leg, I'm going to do mine with the step. You can also start with your leg on the pole like I showed earlier. I'm going to take a step, hook the inside leg once I've swung the leg around. Now to do the swap, all I need to do, extend the inside leg and bring it back. From there, the outside leg that is back extends, turn the knee out and in. So the legs are essentially going from here to here. So that will be inside leg to outside leg. A little easier when you're spinning, so if you did try to do that, sorry, it's a little bit hard. Then after I've gone from there, like I showed earlier, we turn, knee on, extend, catch into sit. So let's do that together. Again, if you're starting with the leg on the pole, feel free to do that. Take a step inside leg. Swing the outside leg around, lift, hook. Now swap, extend. Now turn, lift your knees and hook, extend, catch, slide the top hand down, looking at your imaginary watch into that elbow position. From there, outside leg down, and that is your combo. Enjoy.